Oh, they did it. Was it pretty? Hell no. Did they play good? Yeah, they sure did for a whole 57 minutes. But do you know what? This video was that close to being done very differently today. Because yeah, they won the game fine and dandy, and they even got to the 50-minute mark of this one, and then, they buckled down and they said, hey, boys, come on, we got at least another 7 minutes of hockey left, right? But those last 3 minutes, they were painful. For a second there, I had given up all hope. It was 2 a.m. in Newfoundland. I was tired. I just had a wisdom tooth pulled yesterday, and I was thinking, yeah, here we go. What a great way to cap off the night. But nope. Despite a tremendous amount of pressure from Conner McElbows and friends, they managed to only allow like 2 goals in those last 3 minutes. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but it's only been like 2 games, and I already had enough of that play-by-play guy. Especially during the third period. It felt like every penalty the Habs took, they were like, yeah, you can't be doing that shit, guys. What the hell? That was stupid. And then every penalty the Oilers took, they sung a different tune. Oh, yeah, McDavid did get his elbow up again, but that's like the 96th time this game we've seen Corey Perry's neck snap back. He's been doing that shit for years. And then on the Draisaitl penalty too, they were like, you can't be calling shit like that right now. You just can't. He didn't do anything wrong. So yeah, that was some pretty annoying shit right there. And listen, I want to give the Oilers some credit here. That is one dangerous team. Holy shit. Like at the end of the game, it reminded me of going into the woods, finding a bee's nest on the ground, pulling down your pants and just taking a big shit right on top of it. Because that's what the Oilers reminded me of. A freaking enraged bee's nest. And McDavid is just out of this world good. He's incredible. And small fun fact here, the Habs are now undefeated with John Merle in the lineup. Now, before we backtrack a little bit here and start from the very beginning, if you guys are a fan of the Habs or just hockey in general, please consider hitting that subscribe button as I upload hockey content daily and would really enjoy if you guys tagged along for the ride. And we did have a pair of winners in the game preview video yesterday that somehow, managed to predict last night's score. And these pair of Chris Angels are Philip Willard and Anthony Bernier. So yeah, these guys, they just have all the answers right now. 2 true psychics. Now, before this game even begins, during the warm-up, Alex Chiasson is kind of hanging out near center ice. He's having a grand old time. And Josh Anderson comes over and starts yakking away at him. Cause, he's not happy with the interference on Carey Price the other night. Zach Kassian then comes over because, he's a mouthpiece too. And he starts having a few words as well. Fast forward a little bit, and the first period begins. The fourth line gets a shift during the first few minutes of the game, and Corey Perry looks around and he sees Drouin alongside, and he's like, what the hell? How'd he get on my line? This is cruel and unusual punishment. And he's like, hey, Chiasson, you want to do me a favor? I want to be the hero here. I want to fight you, and I want to get off the ice right now for 5 minutes because this ain't looking good this game. Chiasson looks at the back of his jersey, realizes it's Corey Perry, and he's like, oh, thank God. I did not want to fight Anderson today. Let's do it. They drop the mitts, and major props to Perry here. I mean, the guy stepped up in defense of injured goaltender Carey Price. Nobody gets hurt during this fight, and off to the box they go. Play continues. We see some rough stuff from both clubs here. Lots of hitting and chirping after the whistle. Zach Kassian goes in and throws a hit on Shea Weber, and he leaves the game limping. Looks like he injured his knee on that one. Then out of nowhere, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who played a great game, he fed the puck over to Arturi Lekhonen. Lekhonen drives to the front of the net and scores a beauty of a goal on Mike Smith. Jeez, if only he could do this more often, man. That was incredible. The remainder of the period plays out with the Habs getting the majority of chances here, and they end up outshooting the Oilers 13-4 in the first frame. Now let's move on to the second period, and only a few minutes in, the puck is in the Oilers zone. Somehow McDavid manages to activate stealth mode again, and he sneaks up high all alone. Nobody sees him. It's like he goes invisible sometimes. And Jones makes a nice, crisp pass to McDavid, who comes in and beats Jake Allen, tying the game 1-1. The whole Oiler bench is all full of smiles right now, but Josh Anderson has that mean look on his face. He comes onto the ice during the very next shift, and one thing that I failed to mention here, guys, Josh Anderson watched the entire Rocky series before the game last night, and you know what? When you have the Rocky anthology at home, you don't even need a freaking coach. That's all the motivation you need. And he says, I had enough here, boys. Screw this shit. I'm going to score a beauty of my own. Yeah, he comes in, drives the net in typical Anderson fashion, and finds a way to beat old Mike Smith here, making the game 2-1 for the Habs. Play continues with the Oilers now getting several more chances, including some time on the power play, but credit to Jake Allen. He seems like he's dialed in for this one, and is giving the Habs a chance to win yet again. So, it's a bit of deja vu all over again. The period comes to an end, and the Habs are going into the third with a 1-goal lead. Yeah, Habs fans everywhere are getting like some crazy kind of Vietnam PTSD flashbacks here. Now the third period begins, and get ready for a freaking gong show of penalties, guys. Just a few minutes in, Conner McDavid gets a roughing penalty on Corey Perry for, getting the old elbow up into the face area of Corey Perry. And yeah, they were behind the play when this happened, and the Habs, they go on the power play, and they fail to get a single shot on this one. God, that was pathetic. Shortly after, Conner McDavid drives to the front of the Habs net, and Jake Allen gets a penalty himself for tripping Conner McDavid along the way. So yeah, here we go, Oilers power play. They get a lot of sustained pressure on this one, although Jake Allen and the Habs managed to keep them at bay. And then with like 10 seconds remaining in this power play, Leon Draisaitl, he takes a bit of a run at Edmonton in the corner, and yep, goodbye, power play. The Habs now get a man advantage. Jeez, this shit is hard to keep track of. And finally, they get a goal on this one, as Tyler Toffoli receives a pass from Josh Archibald. And of course, Toffoli makes no mistake and gives the Habs a 3-1 lead. Play goes on with both teams trading a couple of chances each until the Habs get a nice shift in the Oilers zone, with Josh Anderson scooping up the puck and going backhand this time to beat Mike Smith yet again, making it 4-1 for the Habs. Now, Dave Tippett is on the bench, he's looking around, scratching his head, looking at the old iPad, and Mike Smith was on the ice going bananas. He's like, hey man, my stick, 39 years old here, give me a break. I know what goaltending interference is. So, Tippett has no choice. He decides to go for the coach's challenge on this one, and I like the move. If I'm an Oilers fan, I would have wanted the same thing to happen here. And on the replay, you can kind of see Josh Anderson follows through. He does a little spinorama type thing to get his backhand shot off, and in the process, his skates knock into Mike Smith's stick, and that's what all the fuss was about. But the refs decide to call on the ice is good. We got a good goal. And because they fail the coach's challenge, the Habs get a power play. But only 10 seconds into the Habs power play, Jonathan Drouin, he's sitting on the bench. He's been singing the whole period. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. And Dominic Ducharme sends him out on the ice. Drouin wastes no time to get himself on the stat sheet here, but in the worst way possible, because he takes a 4-minute double minor penalty late in the game for high sticking. Yeah, not cool at all. And there was a small part of me here, like a fragment of me that felt badly for Drouin here as he went to the box. Now, did I throw rocks at my TV when I saw him on the screen? Yes, but I'm just saying. Now, this is where things get a little interesting here. A little too interesting, in fact, as it's already way past my bedtime. It's like frickin' 1:45 a.m. at this point, man. The kids are gonna be up and running around in just a few hours. And this is where the nightmare begins. With just 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the third, Conner McDavid feeds a beautiful between the legs backhand pass, tape to tape with Nugent-Hopkins, who is in all alone in front of the Habs net, and he buries a shot on Jake Allen, making it 4-2 now. Yeah, at this point we're all thinking, damn, it's a good thing that coach's challenge didn't work for Tippett. And then just a minute later, Jesse Pulljarvi scores a goal from another beautiful pass from Conner McDavid. Now it's 4-3. And they do have like a minute to set up here, get Mike Smith's ass out of the net, and get an opportunity to tie the game. Now, I am literally sitting on the edge of my seat at this point. The Oilers get the puck in the Habs zone, and this is where the bee's nest thing happens that I was talking about earlier, as they begin firing away with one-timers and I don't know. It all looked like it was happening in slow motion. The clock couldn't hit 0 quick enough. But luckily, somehow, after a lot of block shots and a lot of icing the puck, the Habs managed to kill off the bee's nest that the Oilers had going on in front of the net. So yeah, huge win here for the Habs. That's a big 2 points, guys. And if you guys are still watching the video right now, that's insane. God bless your souls. I can't believe I've kept you entertained up until this point. But anyway, that's it for this game review. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.